Welcome back, Little Rhody listeners. For this week's edition, we're going to be talking about the NFL free agency, who's signed recently and who's unsigned, and where we think people are going to end up or how they're going to have an impact on their new teams and so on with that. And Aaron, if you'd like to take it from there.
Yep. And just to add on to that quickly, we'll do a couple minutes on just the specific Patriots stuff. Get more in depth probably next month when we do NFL, like an NFL draft one. But it's tough to tell. You don't want to do that too early. We have no clue where half these guys are going at this point.
From now to then.
Yeah. So
we'll leave that for later.
We'll do Patriot stuff. I wrote a couple things down on who I want them to get. I don't know if they'll realistically be there or not, but we have that down. But before we do get into anything, you already know where we're going to go. This video is brought to you by Anthony's Jewelers. Per the usual, Anthony's Jewelers has 60% off diamonds, 50% off wedding bands, and 65% off gold chains. As you can see, here's the website right here. Got the phone number right here to call for an appointment. And obviously, if you scroll down, I'm going to show you all the things I just told you, all deals and all different sections on here. And just like they always tell you, it's where Rhode Island gets engaged. So there's that. Now we're going to move on to our free agency tracker. We'll do the signed guys today. I mean, free agency just started today. It's been a super crazy day. A lot of big deals have been handed out already. A couple of the big guys still haven't been signed yet, but yes, definitely been a crazy day, especially if you have Adam Schefter or Ian Rappaport tweets on. Your phone probably was very annoying today, but
absolutely.
You do what you got to do. But the first thing that pops turn this off. The first thing that pops off to me of the signed players, the top two, which is surprising because these are the top two teams who went to the Super Bowl last year, Kansas City and Tampa Bay. And for some reason, somehow, they have enough money to give Shaquille Barrett $17 million a year for 4 years and Joe Dooney $60 million a year, $80 million total, with a lot of that guaranteed. As you can see, $48 million that's guaranteed. He's getting a lot of that, like up front.
That's a big payday.
So I don't quite understand how they did that. I bet there's a lot of restructuring contracts.
Yeah, I would love to see the details of that as well.
So, I mean, the Chiefs did release Schwartz and Eric Fisher, who was their left tackle and right tackle. So, what do? They give $80 million to a left guard. I don't know what the heck they're doing, but congrats to them. Leonard Floyd, I mean, he's a good player. He's been with the Rams for a couple years now. He deserves that deal. Same thing with the Rams. Still don't have any clue where they're getting money from. I don't know if they're just because it's Los Angeles and they got money coming in everywhere. Good for them.
Do the Rams even sell out games in LA?
We haven't been able to see because they got the new stadium and then COVID hit.
True.
So
that's right.
Corey Linsley, he was previously with the Packers for a couple of years. He's a great center. He got a nice contract. I mean, he's going to protect Justin Herbert for a long time. This is what I like to see, though. This Judon, Matthew Judon from the Ravens, he had a great year last year. Actually, the past 2 years, he's a Pro Bowler. He's a good left end, right end, linebacker, hybrid type of guy. And just to make it for you, Josh, Jamie Collins.
Of course.
Jamie Collins played for the Patriots. That's what it was. He
similar impact on the team.
This guy's similar to Jamie Collins, but better. Like, he's a better version. He's on a contract for more years, and he's not like the type of guy to like come here for 2 years and jump ship or have off-field issues. Like,
yeah, it seems like the Patriots reinforced their defense a little today.
Yeah, I think last year you can blame a lot of issues on the Patriots' offense. Don't get me wrong,
Absolutely.
Patriots' offense was not good, but their defense also didn't give them any help at all to give them any momentum, and that's where it starts here. They signed Jonnu Smith to a big deal. You know, he's gotten better every year. He's not the best tight end. He's not a top tier guy, but he actually gives you a threat at tight end, and the Patriots actually got someone, which is good to see.
Yeah, absolutely. It's always nice when you got a tight end you can throw to.
Yeah, and then just to go down the list, we're not going to go over everyone. Corey Davis, I expected him he knew he was
He
leaving
had a
Tennessee
career
just like
year.
John.
He just
Jets
caught
though,
100 something yards.
yeah, I mean Corey Davis had a breakout year last year and he cashed in. Unfortunately, it's with the Jets,
Yeah, rip.
but if it's with Darnold, it's not the best. He just kind of took his money and went with it, but maybe he knows something we don't. Maybe they know that the second pick in the draft, they're going to get a quarterback that's going to revive the team. So
Yeah, I wonder who they'll take if they do take a quarterback. Because
my
obviously
guess
Trevor's
is
going one.
my guess would be Zach Wilson.
Yeah, I've seen some people say Justin Fields too, but
Yeah,
that's a
Justin
conversation
Fields and
for
Zach
another
Wilson
day.
would definitely be a major upgrade over Darnold, I think.
Yeah, either way.
John Johnson, one of the best safeties in the league, he made the trip over to Cleveland. Cleveland keeps reinforcing every year. They're
Yeah,
going to
good
be
for
pretty
them.
good.
They've been down for so long. It's like we just want to see like new, fresh teams like Cleveland. Obviously, they made the playoffs this past season, but it'd be
Yeah.
nice to see them like going in the right direction continually.
Yeah, and then a couple of these guys, I mean, they're like household names. I mean, J.J. Watt, we saw this a couple weeks ago. He went to the Cardinals. He signed a
Right.
big guaranteed deal. Jalen Mills today signed with New England. He's a guy who could play cornerback and safety for them. And then to get into a couple receivers that the Patriots ended up getting, they got Kendrick Bourne and Aguilar. They did overpay a little bit, but it does give them non-bums at the receiver position
Absolutely.
who are versatile. So we'll see what they
So what impact do you think they'll have overall? Like, do you think they're like a huge upgrade compared to last year, like a mid upgrade? Like, what's your thought?
Well, compared to last year, just for the rumors, I think N'Keal Harry, they said they're looking to potentially trade him. They had Demir Burrs, their number 2 receiver, and then Jacoby Myers is their number 1. So Jacoby Myers I actually like a lot. I think he's going to be a good number 3 or number 4 guy in this offense next year. And then hopefully Edelman stays healthy. But if Kendrick Bourne and Aguilar are their number 1 or number 2 guys, it's not the best, but it's better. And then Jonnu Smith, gives them a good tight end. So offensively, they should be much better. Whether that's Cam Newton or if that's for whoever, Mac Jones or something like that. But
yeah, we'll see how that unfolds.
and then just to go down a couple good signings I like here. Cameron Irving, if anybody is an OG Patriots fan, he was here for a couple years, played tackle, won a Super Bowl here. Gronkowski re-signed 1 year with the Bucks. That doesn't surprise.
We all saw that coming.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise anyone. That Houston continues to sign a bunch of random people for money that makes no sense because they're in kind of cap hell right now and their quarterback hates them. So I think that's kind of it for the main
those are the most notable names.
main deals. I do like this Bud Dupree. This literally just happened right before we started filming this, but he ended up signing with Tennessee for big money.
Oh wow.
He's coming off a torn ACL, but he's one of the better outside linebackers in football. But
yeah, so you want to switch over to
we're gonna switch over to the projections now for the remaining players that I think we should hit on, and then we'll move over to the Patriots quick. This week it's just gonna be the second podcast. This week is just gonna be a quick, short one. We wanted to get a football win on a free agency. We'll probably hit on football again. NFL draft, and then after that, it's kind of just a big timeline shift of training camp. And it's tough to do stuff like that. But yeah, so the couple guys I definitely want to hit on. I mean, Trent Williams, probably the best tackle, best offensive lineman remaining. He's not signed yet. Kenny Galladay's not signed yet.
I wonder where he'll end up.
Will Fuller or Curtis Samuel is still not signed yet. Hunter Henry still not signed yet. So in the next coming days, you're going to see those top, the wide receiver ones come forward, and Juju Smith-Schuster as well. I wrote him at the bottom. So those are 4 receivers, a really good left tackle, and the second or first best tight end, depending on how you view Jonnu Smith and Hunter Henry.
Yeah, I was gonna say, is Hunter Henry like supposed to re-sign with the Chargers, or is he supposed to leave?
I think I wrote him down. So I wrote down projections for all these players. I really think that Hunter Henry is going to go to the Bills. I haven't seen anything. Wow. That's just my projection because their offense has been so good. They revived. They revived their receiver core. They got that Gabriel Davis and Stephon Diggs last year.
Yeah, Stephon Diggs had a great year.
But they haven't had a good tight end in a while. So if they can give Hunter Henry maybe a 1-year deal to come in and like put up his best stats, maybe because they'll use him, he might come in and want to take 1 year.
A huge upgrade compared to that. What was their tight end? Dawson Knox.
Dawson Knox and
Yeah. Then they have someone else too.
But granted, Dawson Knox I'm pretty sure he's young. I know he was a rookie or second-year tight end, but so just to ask you, Josh, of the people in football, Kenny Golladay, I guess, is widely regarded as the best receiver in free agency. What team? This doesn't have to go based off facts, but what team do you think Kenny Golladay is going to go to?
Well, I'd love to see him go to the Patriots.
Yeah,
it's a little more receiver power.
Yeah,
but
let's see. I mean, it's tough
maybe
because
the Dolphins.
Yeah, I was gonna say the Dolphins or honestly maybe the Titans now because Corey Davis is gone and John's.
Good point. Yeah, they'll definitely need something else.
So they're gonna need to at least attempt to look at some of these secondary receivers or a veteran guy.
Can't do everything.
Yeah. So the Dolphins. You said the Dolphins. I think that's smart because I know they have the 3rd pick too.
Yeah.
And they probably will draft a receiver there, but if they can draft a receiver and then add a number 1 receiver as well, that'd be a pretty good mix.
The Dolphins are looking good. They could definitely be pretty nice next year.
They would that's a lot of money they would have to spend, but
it is, yeah.
That's me.
But they're also a team that doesn't like to tank.
Yeah. So we're kind of in agreement. I think Kenny Golladay is a good chance he'll go to the Dolphins. That's just based off predictions. We're not NFL analysts here, but I've read some things. They're interested, but I think I've been saying this all year. The Packers have been trying to go Will Fuller since the trade deadline. I think now in free agency, now that they have money, I think they're going to get Will Fuller, which finally gives Aaron Rodgers a second good receiver that he hasn't had in a couple years. So to put him with Devontae Adams and they re-sign Aaron Jones, so they have a good 3-headed monster to give Aaron Rodgers even more weapons, which is the last thing the NFL wants to see. But if you're a fan,
at least he does have the best receiver though in the league right now, Devontae Adams.
Yeah, it's time. It's time to give Aaron Rodgers his due respect, though. He dominated with one receiver and Aaron Jones the past couple of years. So, and then I did have Curtis Samuel for the Patriots, but I wrote that down this morning before they went out and gave Nelson Aguilar, Kendrick Bourne, and Jonnu Smith a lot of money total. So my guess is that they're probably not going to give him that much money anymore because they might draft a guy who's cheaper, but they ended up giving that money to Aguilar and Bourne. So my guess now is I think Curtis Samuel, he's like a wide receiver, running back hybrid kind of guy. So he's going to have to go to a team that's like young. So what team has like a college coach that they just signed? And I'm thinking the first team that comes to my head is Jacksonville.
Yeah.
So I know they have 2 receivers. Yeah, they got LaVisca and they got Chark.
Yeah, we all know they're going to get Trevor Lawrence. So
Trevor Lawrence. So
make him so well equipped.
Yeah, if you can give Curtis Samuel, that's a team who's a good slot guy and a good hybrid who can give him some run game as well, which makes it so much easier for Trevor Lawrence. I think Curtis Samuel ends up going to the Jaguars now, but he's another guy. Same thing with the Titans. You got to put him in the same thing because the Titans might use him.
Yeah.
In the same regard, I don't know how they're looking at certain guys. It's tough now because with COVID, not a lot of things are coming out on who's interested in who because there's no more like face-to-face meetings. There's just kind of like phone calls and a lot of stuff can't get exposed anymore to reporters. And it's tough to see. This is just based off projections and fit.
Right. So just move on from your point. Any other names on your list?
And then the last one I wanted to talk about was Juju Smith-Schuster.
Right.
And I had him down for the Jets. But before we started recording, Corey Davis went to the Jets.
Yeah.
So my guess now, same thing. Juju Smith-Schuster is not going to go to the Jets. So I quickly wrote it down. I wrote Washington, because they do have Terry McLaurin, who's a stud, and they do need to get a quarterback. I know the Heineke kid had one good playoff game last year.
Yeah, you can't go with that though.
You can't really go with that into this year. I bet they try and draft someone or sign some sort of veteran. So I think that Juju Smith-Schuster could actually go to Washington to entice a veteran,
Yeah,
quarterback
absolutely.
to go there. Like 1 year of Ryan Fitzpatrick, or um,
Or just a trade some scenario.
it's so tough because in the next month, so much stuff can happen. Like our free agency list could all be wrong, and then our draft could be like, oh, the Redskins traded up. Oh, sorry, the Washington football team traded up, and they got Justin Fields with the 4th pick for some reason.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, anything could happen.
so it's crazy there, but that's just based off my predictions. I mean, there's a bunch of defensive players in here, but it's tough to tell because Jadeveon Clowney, um, Carl Lawson just signed with the Jets. Shaquille Barrett's already signed with the Bucks. Dalvin Tomlinson, defensive tackle, he's still free agent. He's tough to tell. Yannick Ngakoue, he just re-signed with the no, not re-signed. He went to the Raiders. So a lot of these players are signing very quickly in free agency, but they're just signing. There's no reports of interest. There's no like meetings. There's no like down to 2 teams. It's just signing. These guys are just coming out and signing this year, getting straight into acclimated situations. But
I'm sure a lot more will happen tomorrow too.
yeah, I'm sure. And if you guys want to on this video, comment down. By the time this gets posted, we're filming this on a Monday night, March 15th at 9. So, by the time we post
Yeah,
this
just so you
tomorrow,
guys have the current time. A lot could be different by tomorrow.
yeah, we could post this tomorrow at 1, and Juju Smith-Schuster and Will Fuller could sign somewhere. So
Yeah.
but makes our predictions look weird. But yeah. And then the last thing I want to talk about is just the Patriots. I mean, we are a local podcast. We do have going to hit on local teams, just like when we talk football, we'll talk Patriots. Baseball, we'll talk Red Sox, Yankees. And then basketball, obviously, with the Celtics. So
Yep.
just to hit on the Patriots, I like all their free agent signings today. They are not hot, eye-popping players. It's not like they signed prime Randy Moss. It's not like they signed, prime Ray Lewis or something like that. No, they needed to get better depth. They had a crappy depth year last year. A lot of guys
That's
opted
the
out.
thing though, but sometimes going for a bunch of like role players, it just like, works. Instead of going for like 1 or 2 big names, like going for good players across the board can just
Yeah,
totally shift the trajectory of the
yeah.
team.
That's perfect what you're saying, because we signed that Matthew Judon. He's not a superstar, but he's a good role player in 2 different positions, defensive end and linebacker. So that's good because Bill Belichick likes guys who can play multiple positions. The more positions you play, the more availability, the better it is.
Absolutely.
So,
Anyone else like you want them to sign, or like, what you think they should do going from here? Like thoughts on that before
well,
we
they
wrap
signed
up?
the linebacker. They signed the Davon Godchaux dude, the defensive tackle from the Dolphins.
Right.
That fills a role. Jonnu Smith, we talked about. Jalen Mills, we talked about. Same thing, Kendrick Bourne Aguilar. They hit a lot of their holes. The last thing I want to say, quickly looking at the depth chart, because I wrote down the whole depth chart, they do need to figure out Stephon Gilmore's situation because he's a
Yeah, I was gonna say, what's going on with that? Is he gonna get traded soon?
So right now, the last thing I read is his name is being popped up in trade scenarios,
That's what I saw too.
but I don't know if that's a trade scenario where we want the Patriots to go out and get Juju Smith-Schuster, but what if Gilmore gets traded? What if Gilmore gets traded to the Dallas Cowboys? The Dallas Cowboys are willing to give up Michael Gallup. So it's
Yeah,
like,
actually, hey, it's funny you mentioned that.
so it's just
That wouldn't
like
be terrible at all.
a team that's willing to take on bigger deals because it's flashy players like Dallas might be willing to give up one of their younger assets to get a guy like that who might push them over the edge.
Yeah, and then if you do get that, like a nice receiver in a trade, then you could just draft a cornerback.
Yeah, so
I'm sure,
exactly.
like having the 15th pick, you can get a pretty good cornerback.
Yeah, with the 15th pick, you'd be like, okay, Justin Fields is gone, Trevor Lawrence is gone, Trey Lance is gone, Wilson's gone, Mac Jones gone. Those top 5 guys.
Yeah,
So
do you really want to reach on someone at that point, or would you rather
yeah,
get a
but
really
Patrick
good player?
Surtain from Alabama is still available. He's their
Yeah,
top cornerback. Or now you're good at receiver because you traded for Gallup. Now you got Gallup, Aguilar, Kendrick Bourne, Jacoby Myers, and Edelman. So you have a good 5 receiver core.
yeah, I think that's a good scenario. I'd like to see that play out somehow, but
And
we'll see.
just to end off on it, my dream scenario in the first 2 rounds is to draft Mac Jones with the 15th pick to give him a battle with Cam Newton in training camp. So it's similar to a situation last year with the Dolphins when they had Tua and they had Ryan Fitzpatrick, where Fitzpatrick started the veteran, but then the
And
rookie.
Justin Herbert, who you can say as well, with Tyrod Taylor.
Unfortunately, with the Chargers, though, that was because they almost killed Tyrod Taylor because
what a terrible situation.
I think that story needs to be brought up more. If anybody, for the people who listen to this, I want you to look up the story with Tyrod Taylor and how Justin Herbert ended up being the starter. And I want you to comment on the video on the Facebook page or YouTube. And I want you to comment what you personally think like the NFL should do about that.
Yeah, let us know what you guys think on that.
That's just talked over. Like nobody's.
It really is. Yeah, I don't think it's brought up enough. I mean, literally, the team doctor almost killed him, punctured his lung.
Yeah, like he had to be. Like,
I don't want to give away all the details of the story because I want the listeners to.
Yeah.
They don't know to go look it up, read it for themselves, and then give us their initial reaction.
Yeah. But yeah, like I said, my first 2 rounds, I would go for a receiver, a draft receiver. If you don't do any type of Gilmore trade, but I would draft a receiver in the first 2 rounds and draft a quarterback in the first 2 rounds. I don't care how you do it. I don't care who it is. I just want you to go out. If you're the Patriots and you're Bill Belichick, I know you want to like move all your assets into this year. You had a lot of cap space. You want to be better. You want to be a playoff team. But at the same time, I want you to, I think Patriots fans want you to set up for the future. And if you can find a way to get a Mac Jones, people are excited to get Mac Jones. People are excited to get Trey Lance, that Justin Fields, because those guys, a lot of Patriots fans or NFL fans look at those 3 and go, okay, they're good quarterback prospects. And you don't want the Patriots to get those guys because they always have a good coaching staff. They have the coaching advantage. So if you could put Mac Jones in a good system.
Yeah, by the way, I just got a thing on my phone. Carl Lawson signs with the Jets.
Yeah. So yeah, that's another
over 3 years.
Yeah, that's another defensive end off the board. So that's what I'm saying. Like me and Josh
happening as we're talking. So
yeah, like me and Josh are talking about this today has been crazy. I think it was Adam Schefter just tweeted something too. Like there was like 70+ players already signed today or agreed to deals up to today. So it's all just happening like right away.
So with all that being said, I guess this is a good point to wrap up. Because so much is probably going to change within the next.
I'm sure as soon as we end this in the next hour when we're just talking about the video or editing something tomorrow, we'll find another big deal that pops up. But
yeah, this will be outdated by then. But
yep, and just to remind people really quickly, Little Rhody Sports Talk is brought to you by Anthony's Jewelers. Like we said at the beginning of the video, here's your phone number that you need to call for an appointment. They got everything you need here. I told you all the deals in the beginning of the video. I want you guys to click on the link. We'll leave the link on the YouTube page in the description as well, just like we did in the first video we posted yesterday. We have all the options you can go through here, so you already know what it is. Yep.
Yeah, and before we end, don't forget to subscribe, comment, like, share, all that good stuff. And we're your hosts, Josh and Aaron.
Yep.
And why don't you, in the comments too, please let us know what you guys think about what you want to see happen, what your thoughts are on the free agency so far, what you think is going to happen in the draft, what you'd like to see, all that good stuff. We love to hear and we love to interact with you guys.
Yep. And the last thing, just to add on top of that as well, we also want you to comment future video ideas. We're not running out of ideas anytime soon because sports is such a crazy world.
We'd love your input, what you guys like to.
We want to hear, exactly. We want to hear what local people want to hear. We want to hear what
not just local, everyone. If you're in Montana right now and you're listening to us, please go on and tell us.
We want to know what you guys would be interested to hear about. We want to know whether that's MVP races in basketball, whether it's a random Cinderella team again next week as we look through the brackets again, maybe, so be creative. We want you to be active. We want to talk to you guys. So you guys let us know, but until then,
please comment, share, subscribe, like, and I don't know. That's it.
Yeah.
Stay safe, everyone.
So yeah, everybody have a good day.